Ladies and dudes, it is time for everybody's favorite YouTube person, the great and mighty BooBop1987, is going to do some homework. And I guess everybody wants to know is, what type of homework are you going to do, BooBop1987? Is it schoolwork? Are you going back to school? Well, the answer is no, I'm not going back to school. I already finished school from many years ago. I'm going to do some type of homework here at my very own house where I need to study a very important saga that wasn't in the anime version, but it's going to be there for a film for the final chapter of the Rurouni Kenshin, the live-action version. I know, this is going to be very darn confusing for everybody, but I'll go ahead and explain to you all right now. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka BooBop1987. This is my review for today. And today, I have no review, ladies and dudes, but it's that time once again to do another quick video. And yes, it's that daylight savings time thing where we gotta turn our clocks forward and we're gonna miss 1 hour of sleep. I know, I'm sure everybody's still tired from that and they still want their rest. But we can't control a time and nature thing or whatever, if you know what I mean. But anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to this most important video I really want to do for today. And it's gonna be an awkward one. And since we're finally gonna get some good news at long last in Japan, that the people are finally gonna release the last two Rurouni Kenshin films. One is going to be the final chapter, while the other is going to be the beginning that took place in the Samurai X Trust and Betrayal story. And I can't wait to see both of these films. It's going to be the most epic thing of all in world history. And since I am a big fan of Rurouni Kenshin, it will always be one of my favorite anime series of all time. And I know the main downfall about Rurouni Kenshin is we never got a chance to see the Inishi arc that came from in the anime version. And I know it's still a sad shame, even to this day, that there's only one saga missing that came from our Rurouni Kenshin series. But finally, at long last, we're going to finally see the Inishi arc at long last. Hallelujah to that. And speaking of the Inishi arc, I decided to go back and relook at the Inishi arc again for the manga. And also, ladies and dudes, I, BooBop1987, is going to do some homework. I want to study the Inishi arc so darn badly before I see this movie. You know, I want to study this movie very carefully and also the manga so I can get to know what parts that's going to be in the film and some parts that are not going to be in the film that came from in the manga. I know it's very darn confusing to do, if you know what I mean. Well, I did study a few things here and there so far. There's only two things I know that will be in the film that was also from in the manga. Just two things only. Something I began to know so far. One thing I began to study that will be in the film that's in the manga is the part where Kenshin is going to tell everybody the truth about his past and his storyline, and also the man who is truly the brother of Tomo. Yeah, he's gonna tell everybody a little bit about his storyline here and there. That will be pretty darn interesting to know. And the second thing about what's in the manga that will be also in the movie, where Inishi and his group of men will be there in Tokyo, Japan in hot air balloons. Yeah, that's kind of cool to know. So those are the only two things I know so far. Something that I did found in the manga, but also that's going to be there for the movie. And yes, there will be some changes here and there. And, you know, if they decide to change the storyline just a little bit, that'll be way more different than the manga. So yeah, one important thing that will be changed, that will be there in the movie, but something that was there in the manga, but they decided to change the storyline just a little bit, is if you pay attention to Samurai X Reflection, and also at the near end for the manga chapter of the Inishi arc, there will be a part where Kenshin and Inishi are going to fight each other in the beach. Well, I can't remember much about the manga one, but I did remember the OVA pretty well. That it will be a dark and brutal fight. That's all I could say. But yeah, there will be a dark and brutal fighting moment for Kenshin and Nishi's fight. Yeah, what's gonna be different that will be in the movie that won't be there for the manga? Well, you know, something from the manga that will be different than the movie. You get the picture. It's hard for me to say. Okay. The main change of Kenshin and Inishi's fight is going to take place in a house. But I remember right, it's going to be somewhere around some type of outside side of the house. Maybe like in the garden or somewhere in the back, or I think it might be in the backyard, I think. It's going to take place in some backyard of the house, I think. I'm not so sure, since I don't study rich houses very well. So yeah, Kenshin and Inishi are going to their fight's going to take place in somebody's house, but in the backyard wise. And yeah, they will fight each other around inside too, for what I remembered in the trailer. And also, ladies and dudes, I got another homework I have to do. Before we see the beginning, I decided to go back and rewatch Samurai X Trust and Betrayal. I'm not sure if it will be staying faithful to the OVA or also the part of the manga. And it's true, ladies and dudes, Samurai X Trust and Betrayal was there in the Inishi arc, you know, that's in the manga. And I did study both of these different storylines very carefully that came from in Kenshin's past. Yeah. I'll do a few of it for ya. Like, I did remember in the manga, do you remember those ninja dudes? You know, who worked with Tomo in a very bad direction? I did remember those hench dudes. They did have dialogue, a whole ton of dialogue. But in the OVA, they don't say anything. They were silent all this time. And there was a mysterious ninja, the one who has those big giant claw thingy-majigs. in the OVA, we don't see his face, but in the manga, we will see his face, and it's a very, very scary one. And the last one I will tell you about, and since there's a lot of things that will be different from this OVA and something that will be there in the manga, there was a part where Inishi was about to pick up Tomo, but he did not know that Tomo already left the house. But in the OVA, he was there hiding in the tree and he said, "We got her." So those are the things I will tell you about what type of things I know that was in the OVA and also from the manga itself about Kenshin's past from Samurai X's Trust and Betrayal. I know there's a whole ton of stuff that we did not know about or something that we knew right away. So ladies and dudes, this is my brand new homework that nobody has never done before. You know, I want to study both the manga and this type of storyline very carefully before I could see these films. I just want to study them very, very hard until I can get all of them right. Well, if you know what I mean, it's hard for me to explain. So, tell me, ladies and dudes, what do you think of my idea for what type of homework that I need to do? You know, study the manga storyline very carefully of the Inishi arc before I see Rurouni Kenshin, the final chapter. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's pretty decent? Or this is the most weirdest type of homework that I will ever do in my whole entire life? Something that I never studied before. This is just brand new to me. Since I did study about when I watch movies, I gotta pay attention to details and interesting fun facts that nobody had never discovered before from one of your favorite films. Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. And join me next time for more videos to come. I will do movie reviews, anime reviews. I gotta get to Full Metal Panic: The Invisible Victory. I'll try to think of something to get to that anime review one day. Top 10 or 5 list, short videos, and so much more. So, that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and sayonara.